Hello and welcome to another YouTube video. I'm Tandy, and today we're going to be playing some more Pioneer, and this time we're bringing a sweet build of Jeskai Ascendancy featuring the new Rona combos. So the Rona combo is something I've been working on for a little while now, and essentially what the deck does is with Rona Herald of Invasion, you target this card with Retraction Helix. Retraction Helix says you can tap the creature to return target permanent to its owner's hand. And then we do that with Mox Amber. And Mox Amber floats a blue mana, and then we play it again, and then it untaps Rona, and we bounce the Mox Amber, and we make another mana and untap Rona again. Now, normally that doesn't sound like much of a big deal, but it makes infinite mana, but it also kind of makes infinite bounce. The goal, once you have that combo going, is to find other ways to win. Assembling that combo is actually way easier than it seems. This build is looking to utilize various kills like Jeskai Ascendancy, but Jeskai Ascendancy has ways to kill other than the Rona combo. So what we're going to be doing essentially is trying to find little mini combos with Jeskai Ascendancy and kill our opponent from weird spots. We can do that a number of ways. For starters, we have Emery, Lurker of the Lock. This powerhouse in Modern hasn't seen that much play in Pioneer, specifically because the artifacts in Pioneer I don't think are nearly as good as they are in Modern. But in this build, we're trying to utilize Skrull Defector Might as a protective element that also reduces Emery, and we're also using Portable Hole as an interactive element that also reduces Emery. So that coupled with a couple of resource generators like Mishra's Work Desk, as well as some mana accelerators like Springleaf Drum, and we have what I hope to be enough enablers for Emery to actually work well. And when Emery works well with Jeskai Ascendancy, if you have two Mox Ambers, you get to Jeskai Ascendancy infinity times, because the Mox Amber goes to the graveyard. You can't use Emery, target it, bring it back. The first one goes to the graveyard. It also works with Tormod's Crypt as well. If we want to put Tormod's Crypt in, we just need one Tormod's Crypt to cast, sack, and that lets us make an infinitely big Emery and loot our deck. Once we loot our deck, it's paltry to win, but we have a couple different ways to actually do it. The Bitter Union does give you a kill with Sai, so let's say that Sai is the kill, and we need to have a red for Bitter Union. That's how we win. We can find Springleaf Drum. Springleaf Drum can give us red for Bitter Union. Problem solved, right? It's easy to find kills when you have Infinity, right? It's easy to find kills when you have Infinity. So the rest of the deck, we have, like I said, a lot of artifacts to enable Emery. We do have Sai to enable the Infinity artifact cast to get infinite 1/1s as well as draw our deck. We don't draw our whole physical deck. Narset's a big top-end threat that can win the game on its own, or with just like a little help from a few other things. I like that you can play one spell and then get back Jeskai Ascendancy. I like that it can cast Retraction Helix from the graveyard. It works really well with Emery, just like giving you a lot of things to potentially target to bring back. And it seems pretty easy to win with prowess damage if you have a couple creatures in play. So really excited about the new Narset. We've been playing it in Jeskai mid-range, but now we're going to be trying it in a more combo-oriented deck. Our mana base is potentially a little short on red sources, but with only 7 red cards and Springleaf Drums, I think it'll be okay. Our sideboard, we have 3 Mystical Dispute for the blue decks, 1 Ether Guts for green and red decks, 2 Destroy Evil to help out against Shield Dread, but also enchantments like Enigmatic Incarnation, 3 Third Path Iconoclast as additional threats when we need to increase our threat density against things like Azorius Control, 3 Rending Volley to help out against Greasefang and Mono White, and 2 Tormod's Crypt for Greasefang and or Graveyard decks. It also, since we're choosing Tormod's Crypt as our kill because it works as a win con with Emery. So this is Jeskai Ascendancy Rona. Let's play a league. Turn 1 Dauntless Bodyguard. Okay. Okay. Alright. That's fine. It's a Mono White or Rakdos kind of day. Start off with the desk. Play Rona next turn. Oh, yeah? I do think my Jeskai midrange deck is pretty good against White Weenie, and it could be maybe built in such a way where it's good against Rakdos, or I think it's pretty good against Rakdos as well. So maybe the Jeskai mid is the build, and we just got to figure out how to beat mono green. You can't beat everything. It's so fucking insanely hard to beat everything. There's just like so many static pillars of the format. A passing of the turn on 3, embarrassing. Embarrassing, chat. I guess I'll just shock and play a Bitter Union. Discard the Mana Confluence. Maybe I'll discard Hallowed Fountain instead, since it's more damage. Portable is a nice pickup. Well, no attacks, or sorry, no loots. Can loot on their end step. Probably Ossification got screwed by Thalia. Maybe. Handful of 3 drops. I think it's just Jeskai Ascendancy. Alright, Hopeful Initiate's fine. That means they can't attack again. Will EOT loot. I'm going to discard a backup Scroll. Let's loot. We can play the Scroll. Alright, so we can take out Thalia and something else here. I don't think I need the second Jeskai Ascendancy, so I'm not going to worry about it too much here. Keep that for next turn. Alright, so we don't have... Let's see. Without the Mox, I don't think this does anything yet. Guess we just discarded the Otawara. And then I'll target Hopeful Initiate just to keep them honest. I'm going to swing for 3. No, I'm just going to sit. We can still loot. Maybe we should have actually looted main phase to look for Mox, because Mox was lethal. It's fine. I still don't think they'll attack. Okay, so that's game. We'll go drop. I didn't know I had a Helix. Weird. Okay, whatever. Weird game. We'll bring in Renting Volley and TPI. I think TPI is great in this matchup. Destroy Evil, not so much. These 6 are fine. Portable Hole's great. I think we can trim Bitter Union. I think the Narset's okay, but kind of expensive. Maybe trim like 2 Research Desks, the Narset. Maybe the Skrells actually can all go instead of the Research Desk and the Narset. Maybe we'd cut 1 Research Desk. Seems fine. Scroll doesn't need to protect that much here. Alright, we'll keep the sand. Seems good. We'll go ahead and Portable Hold the Initiate since it can blow up our stuff. Next turn we'll probably play TPI. Alright, so now if they go for Adeline, we'll just take the hit for 3. We'll Renting Volley while they're tapped out, probably. Okay, Ossification's not a big deal. We'll just play another one. Late in this town. Pointy fucking shoes. Alright, that's fine. We're just playing, they're very unlikely to have an answer for this Narset. This Narset's going to chew them up. which is kind of why it's in the deck, because it's a threat that I can play way later in the game that has a significant impact. It's important to have a balance of combo elements and like ways to win the game outside of those combo elements. Invasion of Gobakon, that's fine. They're gonna take my Rending Volley, Retraction Helix, that's fine. I don't even need that one. We'll let the Gobakon take 2. I'm assuming they have Odawara. Now we can Rending Volley and then attack, maybe? Oh, it's a must exile? That's so frustrating. I didn't realize it was a must exile. Unfortunate. I would not have attacked because it just bricks their next creature. I think their last card's a Ganja. I don't think they would have blocked otherwise, so we'll just play Giganta and a tap land. Alright, that's something to keep in mind. This is a forced exile, forced targets. Ziv, thanks for the follow. Still think they have it, so I'll just let them have it. The backside is an enchantment, so we can blow it up with the Destroy Evil. Now I can get back Invasion of Gobakon. So I'll just bounce the Thalia. I'm assuming they're going to recast it, but I don't really want to take 3 damage, and they have recruitment to spend mana now. Alright, so let's go Mox Amber. Springleaf Drum. Attack with a Narset, get back Gobakon, hit their Thalia from hand. Ooh, I guess we could just do Light Shield Array instead. I didn't realize I could choose. That doesn't seem like I should be able to do that. Alright, we'll try. Guess you exile it. I guess it's like Bring to Light or whatever. But that does not seem like that should be how that works. So it's getting Hexproof and Indestructible, so that's good. They have to block now. If that's a bug, I don't feel good about doing it. I didn't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe with the exile it lets you choose which side, but I don't think that's how it should work, if that is how it works. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, so let's running volley this. Both mana confluences in the opener. Don't love it. Kind of want to keep it though, because hand looks gas otherwise. If we play against aggro, this is going to stink. But if we don't play against aggro... Mono green? Okay. Oh, even worse. Lotus Field. Alright, well, at least the mana confluences don't matter that much. Go Bitter Union next turn. Just digging for combo. Assuming they're getting Lotus, they get Otawara. Okay. Keep Otawara in mind. Oh, they played it? Okay. Alright, well now I'm going to go Portable Hole into Emery and then just leverage that a little bit. Maybe even find Mox so we can have an extra mana next turn for it without needing to dig. So we found another research desk. I'll likely use Emery to get that back and pop it. Good chance I'm dead next turn. Alright, I'm going to play Jeskai Ascendancy and hope I don't die next turn, I guess. This is most efficient use of my mana and gives me the best chance to win next turn. And I don't think that anything I can find really helps much against the combo. So, whatever. Cross my fingers. Hope to die. Brawl makes things significantly worse as well. Significantly more likely that I do die. I mean, there's no reason to cry. It's just the nature of the beast, empty. I am off being mad about losing or whatever in Pioneer. Like, literally, my deck cannot beat their deck, you know? Or at least not in game one. So, there's no reason to be sad. You just can't win. It's fine. Sideboard, we have some Mystical Disputes that can maybe buy us enough time. Ether Gust is okay. We'll definitely get the Portable Holes out. TPI can come in over Skrelv. I doubt it'll do much, but maybe it does. We'll see. I'm going to mulligan. I'm going to be pretty aggressive with my moles looking for combo hands. I'm going to keep... Not in love with the hand, but it is what it is. We got a Rona, can dig. Well, at least the new versions win quickly, empty. And it's also a deterministic kill with Violent Ultimatum, or Emergent Ultimatum and enough mana. So, like, I don't have to play it out. And I refuse to play it out, really. There's no... I mean, it's just wasting both our times if I make them play it out. I would much rather have my opponent respect me when I'm doing my Rona combo, you know? So, like, this is not that big a deal. They're going to name Rona, but, like, we have TPI Dispute and we can win the fair game. Can't transform this. We can eventually maybe bounce this. Well, pretty sick draw. Boreal Grazer. Old Black's Diamond. Maybe I need Silence in the deck. Silence seems pretty good in matchups like this. I actually lost to Silence from Lotus Field at the Apex 1K a couple weeks back. Played against TJ, and dude got my ass good. I'm going to counter this because it's a huge burst of mana next turn. And they're doing that kind of like setting up for a longer game, I guess. If they Mystical Suit me back, probably lose. They need on what? Emery? They know I have Emery in deck. I don't know if they know I have in hand. They could name... I mean, Helix on anything unlocks Rona. But without Jace, we're going to need a second one. Alright, well, we can play the Emery, do some anemic beatdowns. No loots, though. No Emerys either. Just attacks and mills. Matt play silence. Is our opponent Matt, KYT? Attack with everything. We can't transform Rona with the needle out. Needle on Rona is pretty bad for us. Okay, so we don't die. We drew 2 of our mystical disputes and they were excellent. Oh, well, fuck off. Who even fucking plays this card? Of course I get punished for not popping my Crypt main phase. Even though I'm not supposed to. I hate getting punished by bad deck building decisions from my opponent. I literally haven't seen them play this card in a fucking year or whatever, man. And now their 1/2s are just bricking my whole squad. Now they have roughly infinity mana. We're getting Zakamad. Come on, man. Whatever. I'll keep this bill or this hand. Next time we can play Rona, or Emery rather. Okay, fucking mirror match, cool. They didn't keep Helix, they Philology got back a desk. Okay. Maybe I should just play Jeskai Ascendancy, but I feel like they are going to kill my Emery at some point soon. Their 2 cards are Consider Emery. So they kept Emery. Exile zones for days, chat. Exile zones for days. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Why can't I play this? Until the end of your next turn. Oh, right. I didn't exile that one. I exiled Jeskai Ascendancy. Red, white, blue. All right, we'll just say go. Next turn, if we can find Mox, we're in business. They just concede. Very cool. Running Volley coming in. I like Destroy Evil for the enchantments, Mystical Disputes, maybe TPI, and then we can just win like a fair game. There's a lot of cards that come in. 12. Skrelv out. Board Bowl seems fine, right? It's Rona. I can't bring this many cards in, right? How many can I afford to cut? These 6, 7, 6. I think I just want to protect myself from their combo. So I think it's these for sure, and I guess maybe try to get these in as well. Could just cut size. I like being able to win a fair game, though. Scrub doesn't really help a ton. Portable hole. We can maybe trim a helix. Trim the bitter unions. Bring in the gust. We'll keep this one. We got turn 2 Rona, turn 3 Jeskai Ascendancy. Can combo with a bunch of stuff. Third Jeskai Ascendancy, not that great, but that's why we're playing looters, right? 100% did not. Okay, okay. Interesting. Emery does make it harder to play, well, a lot of stuff, honestly. See if I'm dead. Philology gone. This is Jeskai Ascendancy time. All right. 1 loot. See if I'm dead. A true mirror match, chat. Literal mirror match. Okay. So that's step 1. Do you have the helix? Are we dead? Discarding Hearse probably means we're dead. Although Hearse, yeah, we're dead. All right, we'll just concede. Save some time. So our opponent is kind of doing the same thing we are. Seems like we're 2 ships passing in the night. I have a lot of interaction. I'm hoping that it comes up. I don't think I'll have to Running Volley on 1, so I'm not going to necessarily play Mana Confluence on 1. Plus, we could just draw a red source next turn and be better off. I'm hoping we just draw Mox so I can go Emery Mox. I'm fun with Ascendancy? Yeah. So far, so good. You lost the Lotus Field, but they're just a very straightforward combo deck that is relatively difficult to interact with outside of discarding counter spells, and our deck has very few of those. This matchup's just pure race, but we have a lot of interaction after board. I think I'm just going to destroy Evil the Bird. Save Running Volley for the Rona. They just discarded Jeskai Ascendancy, so they probably have a second one. I'm going to play Sai because next turn I can go Portable Hole Emery. If I have a target. I do have a target with Tormod Script, which I might do to make sure my Emery's online. Jeskai Ascendancy itself is not really problematic until they have a creature in play. Alright. We have the Mox. Can't play the Rona this turn, but that's fine. Next turn, we can see hold up Running Volley, which is nice. Logi. Okay. Mox Amber, Emery, and Matakar Buke. They get Mox Amber. They haven't played a land yet, so they're digging for a land so they can play Rona, I think. They found it. Another Archaeologist, okay. So another Mox. That's fine. I still am just going to save Running Volley, I think. Alright, attack with a flyer. Here we go. We can draw a card end of turn. We can keep holding up Running Volley. If they go Helix on something like Archaeologist, I can Running Volley in response. And then if they fight, I can maybe Helix in response and bounce. Unearth that, sure. Another Mox. I'm going to blow up the Emery in response so that they're less likely to have mana. Or be able to use the mana. And we still have Helix to protect ourselves. Alright, Spell Pierce on the Volley. It's fine, right? It can't be countered. I mean, I guess they're just doing it to grow their things. But it's Running Volley, so that's fine. They only have one card in hand. They can activate the research desk to get a card. Found Cruise Emery. They take Cruise. And then now we kill because we have Helix. Alright, well, we got the old turn 2 Emery locked up. With an extra mana if we need it. If we draw Mox, we can go... I guess we can't go turn 1 Emery. It's a sorcery, okay. Always double check. I can't ever remember if it can counter artifacts and enchantments. It's very similar to Judge's Familiar, but significantly stronger. Can't go in mono white though, so hee-haw. Alright. Gonna take 3, play Emery, I guess. Might be a little too slow against spirits without any of my portable holes, but maybe we can find one with Emery and get there. Okay, well, if we find Jeskai Ascendancy next turn, if we draw Jeskai Ascendancy naturally, we win the game, which is cool. Assuming they don't have a piece of interaction, which they might. Oh my god. That's such a sick draw. I don't think I go for it this turn. I think I base Spellcaller with a Psi. And then if it resolves, I go Psi plus Mox. Alright, well, now if it's Spellcaller again next turn, we can maybe get it with a Retraction Helix. Although, maybe not. Gobakon, huh? How am I supposed to beat Spirits with Invasion of Gobakon? I guess I can play Jeskai Ascendancy, and then I can play... I guess I'm still technically winning. If they don't have anything else. I guess they can use Muslim Wonder to counter the Helix. Oh, yeah. Let's get it. We'll take 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, don't Mox Memory Ascendancy. Oh yeah, I guess so, yeah. Well, I'm gonna cast it and see what happens. Slip out my Emery. Maybe I needed a Helix, actually. I guess I can go Psi plus Mox now. Yeah. Okay. One blue, blue. We gotta take one from this. This is fine. Then we make white. Cast a Skrelv. Make another blocker. Here we go, I guess. Alright, we'll definitely block Spellqueller. I think we'll block Muslim Wonder as well. I think they're just going to be dead here. Alright, so white, red, blue, 1, 2. Jeskai Ascendancy. Target Mox. Play Mox. Alright, so untap them all. Loot, both fine to auto yield to here. Don't need the other Emery. Everything untaps. We keep this one. Make a white. Alright, we beat the Mono Blue Spear draw. It looked pretty bad. So these 6 can come in for sure. This is another matchup where Skrull was pretty weak. And then I think trimming some Bitter Reunions is always okay. And I don't think Narset's going to do that much. But maybe Narset's a fine plan B. I think that they're just going to have Mystical Dispute as well, though. So Narset looks a lot worse after sideboard. We'll keep this hand, I guess. Not great. Spectral Sailor. I don't care about that one too much. I'll probably pop off a Supreme Phantom here if they play it. Alright, we'll just take the one. It's a good draw. I'm going to do that instead of Rona, so I have Mystical Dispute up for Rattle Chains. It's a deck list. You can always do exclamation point deck or deck list to find my stream decker. That's where I post on my list that I play on stream. Not sure what the play is there. Jeskai Ascendancy doesn't feel that great because I just don't have many ways to turn it on. I had nothing in play. Rona lets me potentially combo next turn. Like, it's not easy, but it's doable with the right two draws. One off Rona and one off the draw step. Alright, well, Curious Obsession on a Rattle Chains. Not something I was very happy to see. See if we can find some protection or removal or both. Alright, let's loot first. Alright, I'm going to discard an extra Rona. I'm going to start by playing a Mox Amber. I'll loot again. Emery. See if they want to do anything here. Let's play Jeskai Ascendancy and see if they interact. That's fine with me. We haven't played a land yet. That was a great turn for us, even though they had the answer to our Jeskai Ascendancy. This is our fair game plan coming to light, though. I really am enjoying it. Another Curious Obsession thing. Casual loot 4 times? Yeah, pretty good. Let's loot. Don't really want to transform. Running Volley's nice. Alright, this is fine. Alright, so we'll take 4 down to 8. Gotta find the combo or some interaction pretty quick. Play the Jegman, untap the Rona. Guess we'll hold back to block Mutavaults, just in case. It's fine. I think I will go ahead and loot, because if I find an artifact to discard for Emery, that's fine. One of the always loot situations. If you have any graveyard stuff. Nice, found it. Perfect. Alright, well, that's infinite. So let's try to go infinite and see what happens. It's not lethal, though. I have to find something off research desk. Alright, sounds decent. No Mirror Blightsteel. I mean, there's not a lot of cool targets for sure. Copying like an Atraxa doesn't do much. Legit Yargle? That's a big old Yargle. 18-point swinger. Just strikes great and destroy evil? Not when you face off against an enchantment. There's some Eldrazi you can do. There's a couple, but they don't have Annihilator. Not in this format. You could do like 11-drop Ulamog that mills them for 20. The problem is, like, you don't have anything that one-shots, so it's just not worth building around. Yargle actually is the most exciting of all the options, and it seems pretty bad to put into your deck, if you ask me. I can remember. Well, that's bad. Can't beat Fairy Mastermind with my deck. Fairy Mastermind and this matchup in general has been very bad for my Rona decks. I think my Jeskai mid-range deck would be pretty good against rogues, though. Oh, maybe we'll draw an answer. I just can't really afford to loot. I can loot on their turn, I guess. Alright, so we can play Emery and Jeskai Ascendancy. But I'm not going to give them 2 free cards. We should be able to kill next turn with... Maybe not easily, but... We'll see. Yeah, I mean, they could kill the Emery, right? And I have to give them, like, a draw 2 or something. I can go, like, start with Portable Hole, hit 1, untap it, go for Mox Hammer for the second one. Alright, so let's start with Portable Hole. I could have looted with Rona. I messed up slightly. All right, well, they're not interacting with me, so I really don't know what they have other than blockers. Okay, weird. I guess they just had nothing. Running Volley and Mystical Disputes, the MVPs of the sideboard. We could go for Iconoclast, but I like Iconoclast in matchups where the tokens can block. I don't like them too much otherwise. I don't really want to Tormod's Crypt myself. I mean, they have push, but I think when I become like the control deck, it's just okay to board out Skrelv in some number. Same with Bitter Union. It's just like hard to sweat through that shit normally. And then we can cut a Springleaf Drum. I mean, you could probably convince me to get these in over some stuff, but I'll keep this one, put back Mana Confluence. So the old turn 2 Emery, turn 3 Jeskai Ascendancy, potential kill. Why Drum? Drum's just another artifact for Emery that lets you hit your colors better, and we don't have a ton of creatures for it, but I think it's okay just for helping enable Emery. And letting Emery do something when you don't hit artifacts into the graveyard or whatever. No Treasure Cruise? Not in this build. Alright, we'll play Emery. It's going to turn their thing on, but we have stuff in the graveyard to play. On Mox. Treasure Cruise and get the combo. Well, if you look at the physical build of the deck, we don't have a ton in the way of... Alright, let's target the Mox first. We actually don't have just like a ton of things to go to the graveyard. I mean, just look at the deck list. It's like a ton of permanents, ton of creatures. Self-mill with Emery, looting with Rona. These are like some of the only things you can do. Alright, no pay is fine. Alright, we'll play the Mox. I will bring back the desk. It takes Psy, but it's a little late. Play next turn, maybe. I just play Emery for 1. We're going to have to chump block the Thieves Guild Enforcer. I mean, that was kind of my thought. It's just better with Emery, but... Alright, so now we're forced to block with the Emery. If they have removal, we're dead. Our things don't have... Our things don't have so many sickness. I don't know. Alright, they're on Multa 6. Our hand's decent. Turn 2 Rona. Mystical Dispute's nice. Sometimes. It do be like that. We can loot on our opponent's turn to play around Fairy Mastermind. Drown's okay. Now we can go Drown plus Dispute back up. I think that's fine. Zamir's deck been pretty good. Well, I mean, we're 3-1. If we win this match, we'll be 4-1. Only loss will be to Lotus Field. That seems pretty nice. We won the game, mini games with the fair side, mini games with the unfair side. All right, let's start with Portable Hole. See what happens. Alright, we have Dusk in the Graveyard. I have, like, my favorite card in hand here, I think, so I'm just going to attack with Rona instead of looting. Maybe it's always loot, though, but 1 damage might matter. If we end up having to win on the fair plan. Emery dying sucks, but Jeskai Ascendancy resolving is great. I'm just going to discard Springleaf Drum. I'll keep the extra Rona in case my other one dies. I'll probably do Research Death next turn. But we got our Ascendancy down now. They only have 1 blue, so they're essentially only able to play like 1 spell a turn. Sheoldred's Edict, that's fine. That's why we kept the Rona. I'll hold on to the land since I can't buy the Gigantha. Okay. Do I Desk or do I Gigantha? I think I Gigantha. I might just have trouble beating a big guy next turn. Three Drowning Lux and an Edict cast. 5/5 seems enormous. Sheoldred, the Apocalypse. I think I'm willing to trade. Although with Gigantha, Retraction Helix, a Mox next turn lets me kill, I think. Urse, a little annoying, but they've killed most of our graveyard-centric things. 1 card left in hand only. Let's. If it's other drown, they would 100% kill this in attack, so. It can be lethal if we can. Yeah, it's if it's not lethal, it's very close. Oh, this is bad. Okay, so let's discard a Ganja. We'll take the 2. Okay, so let's Helix this with a blue, and we'll choose not to draw. All right, so we'll flip mana. It'll untap. Negate. Okay. All right. So let's Research Desk from the grave. We will not draw. What if I forgot to hearse the desk? Maybe. All right, so we found another Helix we can cast this turn. I think that's lethal, right? So we can use the generic blue or non-generic blue. All right. Well, we've won because they didn't crew the hearse. Oh, I guess the hearse was a 0-0, so it doesn't matter. So we'll just do this until Gigantha's big enough to kill. GG. All right, 4-1. Pretty decent league with the deck. Let's talk about the things I liked and didn't like. So we didn't play against Rakdos proper. We played against some interactive decks. I think the main takeaway for me is that I actually never cast Skrull, I think, except for like in the first match. And then I sided out against most opponents. And so maybe the joke is to just become more resilient to spot removal and stuff by just playing more card draw. I know that might sound whatever, but Skrull is one of those cards that's like so good in an aggro deck when you're like curving 1, 2, 3. Here, if we had Jace Rinse Prodigy, we could contain it or help utilize the effect a little bit better. The Imries were phenomenal, and I felt like we had just enough artifacts to really enable it. Maybe there's a turbo Jeskai Ascendancy build that plays Ornithopter and 4 Springleaf Drum. Something like that is somewhat exciting to me. Maybe there's a build with Imri in the like Sultai ones that we are trying out. The fact that it doesn't work with Tyvar is kind of a bummer. But there's some chance that there is like a build somewhere in there for that. As for this one, though, the things I liked and didn't like, Bitter Union, the haste thing didn't come up. It didn't feel like giving haste to my stuff was that relevant. I felt like when I got to untap with either Jeskai Ascendancy or Rona, the game ended in a lot of times. Mox Amber Emery was excellent. Portable Hole was very good. The Retraction Helix Rona combo was great. The Mishra's Research Desks, obviously they're fine with Emery, but they're very mana intensive. They cost essentially 2 mana to do the effect every time. And if you're at parity or ahead on board, that's very strong. But if you're behind, it's too much mana to use Emery like a draw engine. It's nowhere close to the like Mishra's Bauble versions we see in Modern. It's not even close. And I think that there's maybe some things we can do to alleviate that. But for the most part, it's just playing more mana sources like Springleaf Drums. I didn't feel like I got mana screwed too often. I didn't feel like I got color screwed too often, so I'm pretty happy with the mana base. My lands didn't enter tap that often. Mana Confluence was reasonable, but dealt me some serious damage in a couple games. So maybe there's a build of the mana base that gets rid of it, but I think in order to have the right amount of colored sources of all the colors, it's fine. Narset and Light and Exile might just need to be a sideboard card for the Third Path Iconoclast slot for when our opponents are just like heavily interactive. We just want a card like Narset. We could go a little more mid-range and move towards Fable the Mirror Breaker. I don't hate that idea. I think that might move us away from Portable Hole and make Emery worse, though. And our 3-drop slot's already kind of gummed up, so I'm not sure that I love doing that specifically, but that is a potential option. The sideboard cards were all pretty solid. Mystical Dispute and Rending Volley were MVPs. We played against a lot of blue and blue decks, and Mystical Dispute and Volley are great there. Third Path Iconoclast was okay one time and pretty bad one time. I think it could probably be something else. Without like Treasure Cruise and those big card draw bursts, I'm not sure that TPI is actually worth. And the deck without that type of effect might not be viable long-term against decks like Rakdos, since you just don't have a way to refresh after getting Thoughtseized a bunch. We actually didn't get hit with Thoughtseized that much that league, which I'm somewhat happy about. I actually don't mind getting Thoughtseized when I'm playing the Treasure Cruise decks, but here in this build, we don't have a good way to recoup the cards. What I would like to probably cut from the deck is 2 Bitter Union, maybe 1 Research Desk, and then try to get maybe Jace Rinse Prodigy or something, just to give us more dig and more utility for Mox Amber, more utility for Springleaf Drum, and a way to recast Retraction Helix from the graveyard, since we are able to mill over it pretty aggressively. So that's my thoughts. I hope that was insightful. I had a lot of fun playing the deck. I think it's pretty cool, and I think that Jeskai Ascendancy Rona has some legs for sure. I really like that the deck utilizes Retraction Helix outside of the Rona combo, and I like that the Rona combo can work with a lot of the other cards that aren't Jeskai Ascendancy. And so we kind of have 2 different combos that both use Retraction Helix, but neither of the combos needs each other. Like the Jeskai Ascendancies can combo with Emery double Mox, and the Ronas can combo with no Jeskai Ascendancy. So a lot to think about and a lot to experiment with. That's honestly some of the most fun you can do in Pioneer, is just brewing a new deck and run it through a league and seeing what happens. And I've been very happy to do that with the new cards. So thanks so much for watching. I'm Tandy. Make sure to follow me on YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, would love it if you could come check out my live Twitch stream. I'm live weekdays, not Wednesday. That's usually when I write my article. Around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, US. And I go for about 2 to 4 hours, depending on how I'm feeling. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.